Hey guys, Aaron from ADH Gaming here. Well, unless you've been living under a rock recently, you should know by now that Nintendo have released more information about their new system, the Nintendo Switch. Yeah, previously it was called the Nintendo NX, that was just a code name, so now we're getting the full name. I'm not quite sure personally if I like that name, I'll get used to it I guess. In any case, what we were shown was a tablet device, which looked like it had a 7-inch screen. It looked very good quality. I'm guessing it is running at 720p. And on the side of the controllers themselves, there are these new Joy-Con controllers. Again, in the trailer they showed them being separated and two players could play, say, Mario Kart using one each. Now, obviously you're going to get less options using just one part of the pad, and for most games I expect it's going to be similar to using a Wiimote. And it does look like we can use other configurations, perhaps other Joy-Cons Nintendo releases further down the line. Personally, I'd love to see a GameCube style Joy-Con, so if I fancy playing Smash with old GameCube controls, bingo, you know, you can have that idea for free, Nintendo. As well as this, there was another control device which looked more like an Xbox 360 pad and the Pro controller as well. Now, I can really see a lot of players being happy that we're finally getting a proper gamepad like Xbox One and PS4. Don't get me wrong, the Wii U gamepad was okay, but let's be honest, it was too bulky, and unless you were playing on the screen, most of the time you'd prefer to use the Wii U Pro controller, for example. Well, for the device itself, it actually looks quite sleek. I'm liking what Nintendo have done with this. Don't get me wrong, it still has a slight plasticky look, but I'm digging what Nintendo have done with this. There is also a rumour that Joy-Cons feature IR sensors, so very similar to what we used to use on the Wii with the Wiimotes. You could play Wii Sports on your big screen. Not saying that every game is going to support it, but it is an option I guess. I'd love to know if the screen itself is a touchscreen. I really think if Nintendo might release some mobile-like games for it, then you wouldn't need the Joy-Cons on the side to play them. And again, maybe this is going into the whole DNA deal. Maybe they will be releasing mobile games, and also the games will be available on the Nintendo Switch. Well, the system takes cartridges like 3DS ones, so we're not using CDs here, so unfortunately no backwards compatibility with the Wii U, but I can be pretty sure that we might see some games getting remastered for the system and also appearing in the eShop. Talking about the eShop, I'm not quite sure how we're going to store these games on the system. Now, I'm assuming we can use SD cards, but considering that a lot of games can reach 50 gigabytes, I can't see something like a 128 gigabyte memory card lasting very long. And then there is the dock itself. It does appear to be a dumb device, so that means it can't do much except for display on TV, and it does look like there might be USB ports on there, so I don't see that there's going to be a CPU in there to enhance our games. I think it's all going to be done from the handheld device itself. Obviously, being on a handheld device, it's not going to be as powerful as potentially the PS4, Xbox One, although I have heard rumours that it is on an Xbox One level of graphics. I did actually use my Wii U gamepad probably more than what I did using it on the TV to display my games, so I'm not too fussed that it is going this route, and it would be pretty handy if I did want to go out travelling and I was bored on a train, for example. I could just continue my games on the go. Now, all this talk about travelling makes me want to bring up another subject: battery life. Now, it is rumoured that the Switch will only last 3 hours. Granted, this was from a third-party developer that had a dev unit, so the consumer version, by the time it's released, fingers crossed we'll get in between the 5 to 7 hour bracket, similar to what the 3DS was. Any less than this, I think Nintendo are going to struggle. Just look at the Game Boy back in the early 90s. You had the Sega Game Gear and Atari Lynx out too. Their battery life was absolutely shocking, and the Game Boy lasted for a good 10 hours at least. Sure, there's a bit of a difference between hardware here, but it is 2016, we shouldn't have to be putting up with 3 hours of game time. Now the thing is, Nintendo need to get the third parties on board. I know they have released a list of third party developers working on the Switch, and it's looking good. We've got big developers such as EA, Activision, Konami, Sega, Bethesda, Capcom, Square Enix, I mean, we could have potentially a lot of games. The new Final Fantasy game, Kingdom Hearts, Skyrim, which is possibly coming to the system, Call of Duty games, all the Sonic ones. I mean, I expect Sonic Mania to at least come to the system at some point. I mean, things are looking good on paper, so that's hopeful. But we also had a lot of third parties join onto the Wii U. So how long did they stick around for? We had a bunch of ported games that arrived on the system at the start of its life. And after a few months, it was plainly obvious that the Wii U wasn't, going to do it for Nintendo. All these third parties were leaving, and we were left really with Nintendo games. Nothing wrong with that at all. I was pretty happy with Nintendo's output myself. But I expect if I didn't have other systems or the PC to game on, I'd be pretty annoyed with the amount of games that finally did come out on the system. Now, the games actually shown in the reveal trailer, I mean, Mario Kart. Now, it looks like a lot of the Wii U games are actually going to get an upgraded version. So Mario Kart and Splatoon, I expect they'll be very similar to what we got on the Wii U versions, but they will have some changes like Mario Kart extra characters. It looks like we're going to be able to use 2 items in that game. So going back to maybe like what Double Dash was really. We also saw the first glimpse of the new Mario game. It is looking like it is going to be a full-on 3D adventure, similar to Mario 64, Mario Sunshine and the awesome Galaxy games. Nothing wrong with Mario 3D World, it was a great game, but it is good that we're getting a 3D one again, and people have been after this for a long time. There wasn't really much shown in the trailer itself. It did look like a tech demo, so I wouldn't expect it to resemble the game too much in final release. And Zelda as well, it's looking great, but it's been a long time in the making. Will it live up to the standard? I don't know, but as a launch title for the Nintendo Switch, I can really see it helping sell the system. Now, I was pretty disappointed as well that besides the whole Joy-Con gimmick, I guess, that nothing else has been revealed. I thought it was going to support AR, it might still do, but it does look like there is no camera on the unit, which really surprises me considering all of Nintendo's previous consoles, well for the past 2 or 3 gens at least, have supported a camera. And apparently there are other secrets about the system that, fingers crossed, we'll find out quite soon. I think the big question though is it actually going to be a console that can compete? Now, have Nintendo got enough interest that they can finally claim back that glory that they had with the Wii back, 10 years ago now? The whole Wii thing was, amazing, and to repeat that success, it's like 1 in a million. Will it happen? I hope so. I think Nintendo deserve it. I don't agree with everything they do, but they seem to make good games, so I can't complain too much. As long as they can fix the online infrastructure so we get proper versions of Smash that we don't have to mess around to play online with, I can really see the system doing well. Nintendo does seem to be making this whole social aspect a big thing, and I'm not quite sure it will work. It looks good on paper, I guess, and it does look like from the trailer itself they're trying to get into the whole esport thing. They've had great success with previous Smash Brother games, especially Melee at tournaments, and Splatoon seems to be doing just as well. I am concerned, however, that maybe the system will get delayed. This thing's out in 4 months pretty much, and there hasn't been that much information. I am concerned, as I previously said in this video, that Nintendo aren't ready for launching in March. I can really see a delay happening, and really we don't want that, especially waiting so long for Zelda, for example. Now, the price of the system itself, there's rumours going around how much it will cost, but really I can't see it doing that great if it's more than £250 max. So you're looking, $350? Any more than that, I think Nintendo could struggle a little. You're always going to get your diehards that'll buy the system at launch, but it's the mainstream that needs to really invest in the console. Would I buy it at launch? Well, I probably would if I'm being honest. I liked what I saw in the trailer. If we're getting Zelda at launch, then definitely I'm going to buy it. Having Mario in the launch window at least, I'm definitely on board. But I really want to see what other games are coming to the system. I do want to see some third-party stuff that maybe isn't ports of just Xbox One and PS4 games, but something original for the system to set it apart. Hopefully we'll be getting some more news shortly. I would hope to get some more information soon. Hopefully we find out more by January at least, but I really think Nintendo need to slowly trickle some info out. They obviously want to get some of their big games out like Pokemon, Super Mario Maker 3DS, and then maybe they could slowly release a bit of news to keep us interested in the system. Anyway, what do you think? Are you going to be going out and buying a Nintendo Switch at launch? Or are you going to wait a bit and see what happens with the games? Leave your comment below. If you've enjoyed watching my video, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.